Before Tyrannosaurus rex earned its crown as the deadliest predator in prehistoric history, another monster ruled the land. It was bulkier, meaner, possibly even deadlier. Meet Daspletosaurus, the original apex tyrant of North America. For 50 years, paleontologists didn't even realize what they were looking at. They thought it was just another Gorgosaurus. But beneath the surface was a hulking predator with crushing jaws, longer arms, and the face of a brawler. And when they finally saw it for what it was, it didn't just challenge the T-Rex's legacy, it raised a chilling question. What if the king of dinosaurs was actually the heir to something even more terrifying? The story begins in 1921. In Alberta, Canada, paleontologist Charles Sternberg unearths the remains of what he assumes is an already known species, Gorgosaurus. After all, it has similar teeth. The body structure looks familiar, case closed, right? Not quite. What Sternberg had discovered wasn't just another Gorgosaurus. It was something bulkier, stockier, a beast that didn't just hunt, it dominated. But for nearly 50 years, this apex predator remained misidentified, hiding in plain sight. Until one scientist took a closer look, and what they found shattered decades of assumptions. In 1970, paleontologist Dale Russell named this beast Daspletosaurus tyrannosaurus, the frightful lizard, and the name fit perfectly. Researchers were shocked at how much Daspletosaurus resembled something far more infamous, Tyrannosaurus rex. Both had fused nasal bones that strengthened their skulls for violent impacts. Both had tall eye sockets and air pockets in the skull, adaptations for a powerful bite and a lightweight yet durable head. And both were armed with thick, oval-shaped teeth, perfect for crushing bone instead of slicing flesh. The similarities were so close that for a time, scientists debated whether Daspletosaurus was a new species of Tyrannosaurus altogether. Only a handful of differences emerged. Daspletosaurus had slightly smaller feet, more robust arms, longer forelimbs, a broader, more muscular body, and deep ridges above the eyes that gave it a more menacing glare. But the biggest difference was time. Daspletosaurus lived 78 to 74.4 million years ago. T-Rex didn't arrive until 1.7 million years later. That's barely a blink on the evolutionary clock. As more Daspletosaurus fossils emerged, the puzzle pieces began falling into place. Two additional species were identified, D. wilsoni and D. horneri. And they didn't just look like Daspletosaurus, they looked progressively more like T-Rex. One study proposed something astonishing, that these species weren't just cousins of T-Rex. They were its direct ancestors, part of a linear evolutionary chain. This process is called anagenesis, where one species evolves into another without branching off. The theory? Daspletosaurus didn't go extinct. It became Tyrannosaurus. But not everyone agrees. Without DNA, it's impossible to prove definitively. Still, it raises a compelling idea that the terrifying traits we admire in T-Rex, the crushing bite, the monstrous skull, the ruthless hunting tactics, weren't original. They were inherited. Fully grown Daspletosaurs stretched up to 30 feet long, stood 7 feet at the hips, and weighed 3 tons, as heavy as an armored vehicle. But some grew even larger. A specimen nicknamed Pete III measured a terrifying 36 feet long and tipped the scales at 5.5 tons, making it one of the largest predators ever to stalk North America. Its skull alone was over 3 feet long, reinforced with fused bones that acted like natural armor. Its teeth weren't knives, they were spiked sledgehammers designed to fracture ribs and pulverize spines. Its bite force was one of the strongest ever measured, second only to T-Rex. Its hunting technique? The infamous puncture-and-pull, one devastating bite to sink its teeth into flesh, and then a powerful backward yank to rip muscle, organs, and bone in a single horrifying motion. It didn't kill cleanly, it killed catastrophically. Daspletosaurus wasn't just jaws and teeth. It also had the longest arms relative to body size of any tyrannosaur. Each forelimb was about 3 feet long, with dense bones and powerful muscle attachments. These weren't vestigial limbs. They were grappling hooks, perfect for holding prey still as its jaws did the rest. Its tail? A thick, muscular rudder that gave it superior balance, crucial in fights against towering herbivores with horns, armor, and clubbed tails. Its snout? Covered in toughened scales, some of which may have acted like sensory organs, allowing it to detect heat or prey movement, even fine-tune its bite in real time. Perhaps the most terrifying part of Daspletosaurus wasn't its anatomy, it was its behavior. In Montana, 3 Daspletosaurus of different ages were found next to 5 hadrosaur corpses. Same site, same sediment, same death event. Paleontologists believe they were feeding together, possibly as a family-based pack. Young, fast individuals likely ran prey down, while older ones delivered the killing blow. Other fossil sites show bite marks on Daspletosaurus skulls, deep, gnarled grooves from other tyrannosaur teeth. Some of the wounds healed, others didn't. One skull had both healed injuries and unhealed ones. This suggests a chilling behavior, cannibalism. It didn't just fight others of its kind, it sometimes ate them. Was it desperation during droughts and food shortages? Or a result of chaotic, frenzied mob feeding? Either way, being a Daspletosaurus meant you weren't just predator or prey, you were both. Daspletosaurus didn't hunt alone in the shadows of Cretaceous North America. It shared its realm with another apex predator, Gorgosaurus. From a distance, the two looked similar, but up close, Gorgosaurus was lighter, faster, more agile. Daspletosaurus? It was the brute, slower, stronger, more heavily armored. Rather than compete directly, the two may have specialized. Gorgosaurus hunted nimble hadrosaurs. Daspletosaurus tackled horned ceratopsians and armored ankylosaurs. Still, conflict was inevitable. Juvenile Daspletosaurs, smaller, faster, and more agile, may have competed directly with Gorgosaurus for food. And given their aggressive tendencies, fights were likely frequent and brutal. Daspletosaurus lived in Laramidia, a lush island continent shaped by the western interior seaway. It was a land of rivers, floodplains, and deadly beauty. Its neighbors included Edmontonia, Styracosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Gripposaurus, and Ankylosaurs. It wasn't just dinosaurs either. Crocodilians, giant turtles, plesiosaurs, and even Deinosuchus, a 40-foot crocodile, shared its world. And that world was constantly changing. Volcanic eruptions, ash clouds, droughts, mass mortality events. The environment was just as deadly as any predator. Some believe these disasters eventually wiped out Daspletosaurus, clearing the way for T-Rex to rise. Others believe it simply evolved and changed its name. By all accounts, Daspletosaurus was born to rule. Its bones were built for power. Its skull was built for destruction. Its mind, perhaps, for strategy. But its reign wasn't peaceful. It lived in a world of ecological chaos, volcanic ash blackening the sky, rivers drying into dust, forests igniting with wildfire. And in the shadows of this collapsing world, something darker took hold. Desperation, hunger, cannibalism. Fossilized skulls with bite marks from their own kind, some wounds healed, scars from violent rivalries, Others didn't. Chewed bone without inflammation, meaning the bites came after death. Daspletosaurus didn't just fight for dominance. It ate its own, likely in frenzied mob feeds or during drought-driven starvation. Even the kings of prehistory weren't safe from each other. Despite its terrifying arsenal and dominance over Laramedia, Daspletosaurus eventually vanished from the fossil record. Some paleontologists say it was wiped out by environmental catastrophe, volcanoes, sea level shifts, or massive droughts. Others think it was simply outcompeted by new tyrannosaurs rising in the north. But there's a third theory, that it didn't go extinct, it evolved. From D. tyrosus to D. wilsoni to D. horneri, each step brought it closer to Tyrannosaurus rex, in form, in power, in dominance. It's possible that the monster we call T-Rex didn't emerge from nowhere. It was forged, piece by piece, through the blood-soaked legacy of Daspletosaurus, which means the most famous predator of all time might not have been the first king, only the last. So, was Daspletosaurus the true tyrant before the tyrant, a misunderstood cousin, a savage cannibal, or the very foundation of the T-Rex legend itself? You decide. Until next time, on Our Planet Extinct.